What's up, guys? I'm Lauren Mobley, the host of Library Unlock. Library life can be full of ups and downs, but you can always come kick it with me and my guests to laugh and learn all things library all the time. Or, at least until I change my mind. Here, I can guarantee you we'll mix things up and lock it down. Today, the amazing Billy Allen has joined me to discuss public and school library link ups. I hope you enjoy our conversation. All right, I am so happy to be here today with none other. This guy is so freaking cool, y'all, and so patient with me. Let me just start with saying that. But the amazing Three King Visions, none other than the leader of the New Cool himself, Billy Allen. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, your busy, busy, busy day, to be here with me.
No, thank you, Lauren. I mean, we've been following each other for a long time. Support is everything, especially in this profession. So it's an honor to be on your platform.
Oh, you are so welcome. I'm just grateful that you said yes, honey, because so
Yeah,
let's start off with our listeners who don't know you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You're in the hot desert of
yeah. So
Vegas.
I'm Billy Allen. I am a librarian by profession. Been a librarian for over 8 years. Graduated from two HBCUs, Lincoln University of Missouri and North Carolina Central University, where I got my master's in library science. I'm currently the branch manager of Whitney Library here in Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Clark County Library District. I've worked in two other library systems, Jacksonville Public Library System and Broward County Libraries. I'm originally from North Carolina, country boy, Air Force veteran. I got a platform on YouTube called Three King Visions, and actually on all social media, where we're just trying to inspire the kids, inspire the youth that reading is cool. The library has a lot more to offer than just books, and it's been dope. Like my brand's kind of like evolved because not just story time. I focus on things that people do in the library that we know that we provide that other people don't know. So it's been a beautiful journey.
That's so awesome. How did you get into it? Because if I read correctly, you used to be in the military.
Yes, yeah. I was in
And
the Air
so how
Force.
did you go from that into the library?
It's crazy because life, you just never know how your life gonna turn out.
You ain't
Never,
lying.
never had the dreams of becoming a librarian. It just kind of fell in my lap as far as I was going back to school at Lincoln University on my way to becoming a nurse. And my homeboy, yeah, because I was a medic in the Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah, so my homeboy Bradley Kuykendall, he's a librarian as well. You may follow him, Page Master 57. He was like, "Yo, man, you still gonna do this nursing thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, what you about to do?" And he was like, "Man, I'm about to be a librarian." And you know how this goes. I was like, "What the hell do a librarian do?" And when he put me onto the field, it was cool because when we was at Lincoln, he introduced us to our mentor, Dr. Jerome Offer. You know what I'm saying? Who's currently the head librarian at Harvard. And then introduced me to Kelvin Watson, my other mentor, who's obviously the executive director here in Las Vegas, and Makiba Foster. So, I got an opportunity to learn about library science at Lincoln, where we were the only HBCU to provide that as a minor. And, I learned all about the profession. I took an internship at St. Louis where I met Rudolph Clay, Makiba, and all them, and it opened my eyes up. And then it was me and four other brothers. Like we all ended up becoming librarians. So ended up changing my major to biology with a minor in library science. And then I moved back home to North Carolina to go to North Carolina Central to work on my MLS. I'm 39. I got my MLS at 31. Never looked back ever since then.
That is so cool. There are already so few black librarians, and I know that black male librarians is even fewer.
Yeah.
So that's so amazing to have you and have your platform to share about the amazingness. And I know you're inspiring others to want to get into this field. What made you want to do public library versus school library? Because you do
To
a
be
lot with the kids.
right, you know what? To be honest, that was the only job available. This is crazy because I'm giving it real. So when I did my internship in St. Louis, and I went into the St. Louis public libraries, I was like, I am not working in no public libraries. And you know how they get down. So I said I'm gonna do the academic concentration. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my concentration in library school. But when I got out, the only jobs were public librarian jobs, and I applied for a youth services librarian job for the Jacksonville Public Library System. So they selected me for an interview. So for the interview, you had to do a story time
Mm-hmm.
and show an online resource. I didn't even know what a story time was. So, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't do none of that in school or whatnot. So
Right.
I said, you know what? Picked a Maurice Index, What the Wild Things Are.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I started looking up stuff like, I do a story time, how I would read a book.
Right.
And I did the story time, show Brain Fuse as an online resource, and the rest is history. Like, I like doing this, doing the sing-alongs and all this type of stuff. I had to
And
do it.
busy bee.
Yeah, and that came afterwards. So I was like, my first job, I love working in the public, and I felt like I had a niche. I'm like, connecting with the youth, and really, my first job, I'm in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So these
Right.
kids, I never forget, like my first week, one of my staff members was like, "Hey, have y'all seen Mr. Billy?" And the little kids are like, "Oh yeah, the man with the church clothes on."
Stop.
I- so, but like that's how they identify with seeing someone
Mm-hmm.
dressed nice. So I said after that point, I said, you know what? I'm gonna just dress how I normally dress and
Mm-hmm.
be me. And then just the community always been receptive because I look like the people that come in my branch.
And
So
being authentically you resonates with so many people. I mean, that's important whether you're in the public school or the public library, just to be yourself because patrons can see when you're not real, you know?
public service is everything. You got to know how to connect with people. You know what I'm saying? Like that is everything. When you're engaging with people, then when they don't feel like you're being authentic, you're not going to provide the best customer service. You know what I'm saying? Nor will the customer feel appreciated and have that positive experience, regardless if they're a kid, a teen, or an adult. So
Right.
you got to know how to connect with people.
Right, yeah. We don't want no fake librarians or people in general. Like
Oh no,
they can smell it. They can
they
smell it
can.
on you.
Oh yeah.
Where did Busy Bee come from? It's so cute.
So, okay, so this is funny. So when I was in Broward County, I was doing my story times, and I was getting like outrageous numbers for a story time. Like I would do two back-to-back story times where it would go from 100 to 150 people, and then like I would hit my homies up, and I'm like, yo, ain't nobody doing a story time or a kids show for people of color. I haven't seen it since Rain and Rainbow. So I said, I'm gonna do this. So this is literally in 2019, like December 2019. January 2020, I dropped my first episode, created Three King Visions. And I was like, when I was growing up, I loved cartoons and stuff like that. And I was like, I need to have like a co-star, right? So, this is all me brainstorming this stuff, writing it down. I drew a bumblebee and I was like, man, he need to have a hairline, thinking cool, like
Line up the bee.
line up the beat. He go to the barbershop, he get that fresh line, with the
I'm
Beijing
weak.
and everything.
I
So,
can't.
so I thought it'd be hilarious, and also like kids could identify with that. So when I did that, kids are very receptive to that. They don't even talk about me. They talk about Busy the Bee. You
Right.
know, so that's another way to create engagement. And create a character. And I think I'm gonna start developing more characters in this family line because it's been taking off, and it's been a beautiful journey.
I love that. So what about the books that you pick? Is it important for you to choose books that focus on Black authors or how do you
Yeah.
choose those story
So,
time books?
if you're talking about like readers advisory and all that type of stuff, I thought it was important for this platform for a majority, I'll say 90% of my books I read from Black independent authors or people of color
Mm,
because these books need to be showcased and read aloud. Because what happens is, this, the number one question we always get is, how can I get my book in the library? So, okay, I always try not to be a gatekeeper, but also let's figure out other ways we can promote your book. And, why not read it aloud? So I feel like during the pandemic, it was like a perfect time as far as, unfortunately, everybody's inside. And I'm like, okay, I could promote your book virtually. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And then on top of that, I could take your book in the library where parents and people will be like, hold up. I never seen this book in the library before. I never heard these type of stories.
Yeah.
And, reading books about, kids' natural black hair, reading about, the backgrounds of different cultures, Kwanzaa, or a black kid learning about Hanukkah, which I just recorded a read aloud this morning I'm dropping, you know, or understanding that I'm brown skinned, but also I noticed there are people that's light skinned and darker skinned. Why is that? These are different stories that only people of our community can relate to, and also other communities can hear these stories too because these are different perspectives.
Right.
So I think it's important to do that, and it's a beautiful time right now. You're seeing so many children's authors coming out the woodwork. People are being confident in telling these stories. So I love it.
No, absolutely. At ASL, me and one of my colleagues' friends, really my good friend, because we don't work together. She's not my colleague, but me and Lanier Miller did a presentation about Black Girl Magic, where we highlighted different books by Black authors that had Black female protagonists in science, sci-fi, thriller, fantasy, all these different, not realistic fiction, because we wanted to showcase all the amazing books
Yeah.
that are in other genres. So I
Hmm.
love that. What advice do you have for librarians who want to find books that are similar to the ones you mentioned? Where can they
Definitely go
look?
on social media. Ain't no
Mm,
way around it. You can just go to hashtags, type in Black authors, Black children's authors. Besides my platform, Three King Ventures, you have Lit for Black Kids. She promotes nothing but black books. Illustrators. That's a great platform. Also, Tiffany Font. No, I don't know if you're familiar with her. Another librarian. She has a platform called We Are Here. We Are Here Lit, and that features books about young black boys. So just do some research. They're out there. I mean, it's so many independent authors. Follow Richard Ashby. He's another one. That's my brother. That's my dog. Like he's certified. He got a certification from LA supporting independent authors. So I would say take advantage of social media. Then you got my dog, Mr. John. Reach out to him. You can reach out to Shannon Bland. It's a lot of now these are social media influencers that are supporting independent authors, and that's so important because you're not going to get that from the public library or the academic or from working in schools because they don't understand readers advisory like I do.
mhm.
They don't understand maybe a typical third or fourth grade reading level book may not be catering to my demographic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you flip through the pages, like, do that story really resonate with them? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things where we got to stop being gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? We always got these material selection committees that they don't understand. How can you talk about DEIA if you're not a part of it? You know what I'm saying? And you're not practicing it.
Yes.
Don't just put one or two books in there of your famous Jason Reynolds or you know what I'm saying? Like some of these people that everybody know. It's plenty of children's authors of color that's out there. Going to book festivals, get involved in the community. Once again, community engagement. As a librarian, I always tell people you're never off. You know what I'm saying? Because you may stumble upon a festival where you see an inspiring author and they're selling their books, they hustling. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just like Masterpiece selling this music CD out the front. You know what I'm saying? Like they're getting it,
Yes.
but they need a support. And that's what I always hear from children, independent authors
Hmm.
about, the librarians make them go through leaps and bounds to get their books in the library. And I'm a victim of it too, because, we're busy. We're busy
Right.
and we can't make that promise, but I try my best to do that. So I try to do my due diligence as far as getting as many books as possible in the branch.
That is awesome. And I feel like I need to do a better job of that, of getting more independent authors into my
We all
library.
do.
Yeah.
It's hard. And then, it's other creative ways where, okay, maybe I can't add it to my collection, but I know other librarians, they
Hmm.
connect people with. It's all
Right.
about relationships.
I love that. So, speaking of your community engagement, you do so much with the kids, and I see a lot of stuff you do with the kids that's not at your library. You're going to schools.
Yeah.
How does this come about, and how can school librarians build these partnerships with their local public libraries to have those type of relationships?
It is so imperative from school librarians, public librarians to develop partnerships and relationships because we provide a lot of programming. We actually work hand in hand more than people think because after school, what I'm saying, or depending on the hours of the public library before school, the kids are already there. They're coming to the public library, and then when they're leaving school, they come here. So doing programs like, for an example, I have a signature program called the Teen Empowerment Summit where how hard it is to get teens to come to programs. So, I came up with an idea as far as this program, and this is all about the teens, empowering the teens. We're not talking to y'all gonna talk to us. And in how to promote this, it starts with also just starting to talk to the teens. Every time the teens come in, they know me. You know what I'm saying? They were like, Mr. Billy, what up, what up? You got to develop a rapport with the teens and the
The
tweens.
relationships
It's,
again.
it's relationships. And then when you pop up to these outreaches, I'm a firm believer in outreach. If I hit up the school library, I'm like, hey, we got a program going on. Can I pull up? They get so excited because we're helping them out. We're taking pressure off of y'all. Y'all have a lot of pressure, dealing with all the students day in and day out. So when I come in with some AirPods, I'm promoting, you got to reel them in and just, you talk about being authentic.
Right.
The teens can relate, because this is how I dress. I'm at work right now. This is how I dress. You know what I'm saying? So I think I use that to my advantage, which I'm highly aware of, where, maybe one of my coworkers can't. You know what I'm saying? And it's just being consistent. Get out there. Not just when the beginning of the school year, not just at the when it's right before test and provide resources. Come there on a regular basis, you know? And that's how you develop the rapport and also invite the school librarian to bring the students to your branch in the middle of the day for special program. You got to be creative, and depending on the location, but typically if there's a school, there's a public library around the corner. You-
Right.
So that I mean, I'm a big advocate for community engagement.
I love that. So I really need to look. You just look. I'm taking notes, honey, because this is a master class, and I'm just thinking about. I have a public library that's pretty close, and we've done a couple things together, but not as much as I would like, and it's because we don't. I don't have a great relationship with that other librarian, and so I need to really, hone in on building that connection stronger so that it can benefit my students. So that when I call her, she know like what you want, girl. But it's like, oh
Right.
hey, Laura. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
actually, y'all collaborating actually strengthens your collection development because y'all can maybe have the similar demographics, or let's say me, I'm struggling to find books that my tweens want to read, and you're like, hold up, they're coming in my branch, and this is what they're reading.
Mm-hmm.
It's that communication, you know what I'm saying? So you get a lot of information just by just networking.
Right. Networking is so critical for
Yeah,
anything.
everything.
You mentioned your Teen Empowerment Summit. What
Mhm.
are some other of your what are some more of your favorite programs that you've done with teens, kids?
Um, you know what? I think what we do, I take a unorthodox approach to librarianship now because, yeah, I talk about books. I always talk about the resources. At my branch, we have a teen zone. So in the afternoons, yeah, we got a youth services area, but the
Mm-hmm.
teen, you know how it is. Teens don't want to be with the school age kids.
Right.
Their little brother, they're like, no, little brother, you stay over there, right?
Uh-huh. In the
So
play
we have a
kitchen.
teen zone from Monday through Saturday. They come in, this is their space, it's enclosed. Obviously, there's a staff member in there, but we got an 85-inch TV. They play the Nintendo Switch. We let them be teens, they can cuss. Like, as long as they're
Right.
being respectful. Um, we offer free meals for them every Monday through
Oh.
Friday. Yeah, it's courtesy of a food bank that sponsors us. Um, so we're allowed to do things like the Teentober events where I do a haunted house every year. And what I do is I go to these student clubs talking about going to relationships with the school librarians. I go there and be like, hey, they look forward to this. We're doing a haunted house again. I need volunteers in the Key Club or the Deca Club to help me participate in a haunted house, but also recruit your fellow classmates. And that once again strengthens the outreach. For example, when I just did my haunted house this past year, It was ran strictly by the volunteers. I got the materials. I kind of laid out a game plan, but I let them be like, Mr. Billy, I think this scare point will work better, because we had a theme of international horror. Giving them,
Oh,
empowering them, allowing them to create and make decisions. And we had what, almost 400 plus people that showed
good,
up in the community?
good, googly moogly.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, that was powering them. They're doing the TikTok videos, promoting it, and utilize your community. So, like, we got the haunted house, the teen empowerment summit. Great example for the summer reading challenge. Last year, one of my librarians was like, Bill, we got to think of something creative to
Mm-hmm.
get more tweens and teens to finish the summer reading challenge.
Yes.
So she said, Billy, we're gonna get you slimed. So we created a slimer meter. So if 300 kids, we set it kind of low, but check this out. When we were doing the outreach before school went out, it was a slimer meter in my youth services department with my face on it. If
Mm-hmm.
300 kids finished the summer reading challenge, I was going to get slimed in front of my community in my concert hall, Nickelodeon style. We had over 400 plus strictly finished that program. But look, the adults were coming up because the news picked it up, all this stuff. They was like, adults are like, why can't I participate to see you get slimed? So that creates the interest.
Yeah.
So the whole community for our back to school fair saw me get slimed, like 12 ounces of slime.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, we're going to continue that because now I'm like, okay, if we're doing this just in my Whitney community, I'm going to challenge other political leaders and other community leaders that in my community to participate to promote literacy. You got to practice what you preach.
That is so cool and so
Yeah.
fun. That's what I love about you about bringing fun to the
Yes.
library, right? It's not a
Yeah.
stiff place, and
Right.
I feel like that's so important that librarians are trying to do now is really rebrand and advocate for our programs that these are fun spaces. These are fun, safe spaces for everyone. What a
Hmm.
cool program. I love what you mentioned that you feed the kids in the teen
Yes.
zone
You got,
with the
well,
food
even
bank
all the kids.
partnership.
Yeah, all the kids, we have a partnership with Three Squares of Food Bank. Even with the senior citizens every Friday, we feed the senior citizens warm meals. I'm talking about they be eating good. Spaghetti. They're eating good, so the kids get nutritious meals Monday through Friday. You don't know. You know how it is working in libraries. Everybody got different backgrounds. You can't
Mhm.
assume that a kid ate all day or kid gets a meal when they get out of school. So, like, it's a blessing. And you'd be surprised how the behavior changes with the meals.
Absolutely.
Because you got to do that. You have to. So, I think it's important to come up with creative, engaging programs for the teens. A lot of librarians, I say, like, if you're doing an adult program, honestly, that could cater to the teens.
Mhm.
Create a family program. We got an Oculus program. We just got two 3D printer machines. So my staff and I'm gonna work on some training today on it. They are getting so creative of creating all types of stuff with this 3D printer, but this is the stuff that engages people. So you just
Right.
gotta get involved.
Oh my goodness. You are so amazing, Billy. These are incredible ideas.
And I
And
can't take the credit for all that because my staff, you know how we working. So my staff is very creative. My staff gets excited, when you're supported. You know how
mhm.
this is with library administration, with school administration. If you don't have the support, say you're not going to be motivated to do the work. You got to take care of your people. I'm big on staff empowerment.
It's
Big
so
on it.
important and too as school librarians oftentimes we can be the only ones in our
Mhm.
school where I know you in a public library you kind of have that community and so I'm always trying to encourage other school librarians to reach out. I used social media a lot when I was first starting to just kind of find friends and get questions
Yeah,
answered to build a sense of community. And so PLN is so important. Do you have a strong network outside of your community as far as, professional learning network?
you got to. So, oh man, it's levels to it because I learned a lot from Dr. Jerome Alford and Kelvin Watson. I've been working under Kelvin Watson for almost 7 years. And the power of relationships is everything. I give you a good example. So on IG, we have a group chat with all the black male librarians. orchestrated by John. And I developed a lot of personal relationships with these brothers. And I had an assistant branch manager vacancy a couple of months ago, and my current assistant branch manager, Desmond London, me and him was cool, man. We would talk about our experiences managing, dealing with staff, dealing with microaggressions, because we could relate.
Hmm.
And I thought about it. I was like, yo, my G, do you want to be my assistant branch manager? So he ended up applying, and I don't think it's probably only happened one other time that two black men, two black librarians are running a library together.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful thing, we're sending a message that, when you're in position of power as you move up in your career to put your people on, that's deserving, that's deserving, and I value my relationships from Mr. John, even like, other people that's big time influencers, from Mychal Threets. Me and Mychal Threets been cool for years. You know what I'm saying? Been cool for years. So like if I reach out to him, shoot me a favor, it's nothing. Or I'm just, hey, I'm my man, Rahming. I don't know if you follow him. Um,
No, but I'm going to look. Everybody you've mentioned, I'm adding to the show notes,
yeah,
so me
because
and my follow, me and my listeners
Jamar
can
Rahming. You need to follow him.
tomorrow me.
This guy's a superstar in librarianship. He has created a revolving $100,000 grant fund to book people like having the A Different World reunion, having Dolly Parton, having LeVar Burton, had Master P, KRS-One, Debbie Allen, like all prominent people, Omar Hardry, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like all these prominent people in the culture to come to the library to shed light on the library. And he brought me out to his library. He booked me as to do a story time. I mean, first class service, the most professional dude ever. And just to have that relationship with another brother that's a leader like me, I could pick his brain on things. And it's almost like we're like a real life fraternity. You know what I'm saying? Because I could reach out to Bradley Kuykendall, Kelvin Watson, Dr. Jerome Alford, Jamar Rahming, my boy Chris, Desmond London, my current assistant branch manager. These relationships is everything, because it's not a lot of us. So why not network? Why not build those relationships? I don't know how it is from the woman's perspective, what I'm saying, on social media, but I encourage it. Get it started because you'll be surprised when you're having a difficult time at work or you just want to vent. These are the safe spaces where people really can relate to you because nobody really understands what goes on in libraries.
Right.
They don't. They don't. Come on, when we tell them the story, especially when I tell them working in public libraries, I said, no, you see it all. Literally.
Things I hear, the things I've seen on Twitter, like, oh, that's how they do it at the public
It go
library.
down.
Okay, I saw somebody said something about bringing a deep frying some food in the bathroom
Oh,
or
all the
something.
time.
I said, wait, what? The public library is, I don't know
Well,
what's
you know
going
what? The
on.
reality is that people need help.
Mm,
I deal with people all walks of life where people are on drugs. People are coming in inebriated. You have people that have mental health issues. What about the single mom that has to go to work and the
mm,
kids have to go to school? Because where I come from, parents trusted their kids. You leave school, you go home. They don't trust their kids. So they have to
mm.
have a safe space, or if they're commuting, they come to the library. What
Wow.
about the homelessness? That's a big issue. They come to the library. This is their safe space. People applying for jobs. Everybody, the whole community comes in. You can't walk around Walmart like that no more. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be in Starbucks laying around like that to utilize
Mm-hmm.
the Wi-Fi. So everybody comes into the public library, and I love coming up with engaging programs. You know what I'm saying, to keep them active, or just
Mm.
maybe take advantage of a resource. We give out free Cox Wi-Fi cards, hotspots, iPads, all this stuff with the power of your library card, which is free.
Right.
Because people are struggling. I do resource centers. I do all types of stuff to help people get IDs. You know what I'm saying? We got social workers at my library. I have a mobile shower for the homeless. But I'm going to just say homeless, the people in need.
Wow.
So you talk about the community engagement, having support. Kelvin Watson has allowed me to be very creative. He's the leader that I mimic my leadership style from, as far as if my staff member has an idea, do it. Shoot your shot. You got a 50-50 chance. Libraries have been talking about years to having mobile showers, social workers. And I just developed those relationships outside of the branch Because I always say, Lauren, I'm a walking library commercial, you know, because when people find out we're librarians, they're so curious about what we do.
You be reading
So,
all day?
uh,
I
what's your
wish.
favorite
No.
book? What you reading right now? I'm like, we do a lot more.
But wait, no shade. That is my last question for real. What are you reading? So you trying to be funny, but the librarians want to know. That's how I end my show anyway. But before I let you go, how amazing, Billy! This was great. This was so wonderful. If you don't, first of all, let me rewind because I'm getting so excited just by all the gems that you dropped. Number one, what are you reading for real?
Mhm. All right, so I picked up this book. This oh Lord, this is gonna be interesting to hear the response to this. I'm reading a book right now called Why Women Deserve Less, and it's written by this dude named Myron Gaines.
I think I've
And
heard of this.
so he's on Fresh and Fit on YouTube. So it's a dating book, and it's pretty much talking about how hypergamy, how men have to develop their value as far as in the dating world, and how he tells different stories about men, being rejected, and then they start getting their career together, getting their finances together, and the tables turn. So it's very, very, very interesting.
It's given
Very
future, but I'm not gonna judge the book off its title. But it's
right,
definitely
because
giving
it
some
catches
future
people off guard.
lyrics.
It, it it catches people off guard.
Excuse me. All right, I also put that in the show notes so we can find out what this book is about.
Like,
Because it's
he's
definitely
pretty
like
raw.
side eye.
Yeah, 'cause, like what people will say is, even if you read like the back of the book, as far as just what the book is about, you may consider the book misogynist. Um, it depends on the perspective, but it's
Oh
very
Lord.
controversial.
We
But
was doing good, Billy. We was doing
I
good.
was doing good. It's an interesting book though. So I'm halfway done, so I'll tell you my full assessment
When
of it
you finish it, right.
when I finish the book.
So you dropped so many amazing gems. I'm gonna link a lot in the show notes. Tell our listeners where they can find you because I know they want to connect and be a part of your story and see all the incredible things you're doing for your community.
So first and foremost, just thank you for allowing me to be on your platform.
Of course.
Anytime you need anything, it's nothing. Just follow me on all social media platforms. Three King Visions. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get on YouTube Kids. But yeah, just follow me. Reach out to me, man. I'm highly accessible. I love what I do for a living. I haven't worked in 8 years as a librarian. So I really believe in my slogan, "We're leaders of the new cool." So I just love what I do.
Oh my goodness. I'm so inspired. I want to be cool.
You already come on now. You're a black librarian.
Thank you again so much. Oh my gosh, amazing. All right, we'll be in touch. We friends now, Billy.
Oh yeah. Oh, we friends.
So I'm gonna be hitting you up too.
Please do. Please. Yes.
I told y'all he was good. Good. Please connect with Billy and reach out to your own public library branch for more community programming opportunities. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving me a review, sharing with a friend, and following for more content. And guys, we got our stickers in, so definitely let me know if you want one. Next week, we will have an inspiring chat with the talented Erica Long. See you soon.